Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Hublot Spirit of Big Bang Titanium Blue 42mm reference 642.NX.7170.RX. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the history, where this watch stands in the lineup of other Spirit of Bangs, then talk to you about the case bezel dial bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start. Hublot is a very new company, has only been around for something like 20-30 years, and they really took off within the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 years. Before that, they were on the map, but within the last 10, 15 years, they really started to come up with very innovative watches that is not really seen in the watch world. They use these odd shapes, skeletonized dials, very funky colors, and very different materials. They use sapphires for their cases, some titanium, which is also not that common of a material. It's a material that, for example, Patek Philippe does not use, and they also use a skeletonized dial, but they also do skeletonized dial with colors inside them, which also is not very common. So if you really want a funky brand, which also is a very good and excellent Swiss brand, they kind of merge some of the classic watchmaking with new avant-garde style materials, colors, and ideas. Then Hublot definitely would be a good candidate for that. They make many different kind of models, and at any rate, Hublot is a very new company, but it definitely has put itself on the map very quickly. And the Spirit of Bang, this has this tonneau shaped shape to it. It's reminiscent, or actually looks very similar to Richard Mille's, which is another very famous brand that uses a tonneau shaped. Also, Cartier uses a tonneau shaped. Tonneau means rectangular shaped. Also uses this rectangular shape. And you might think, well, Hublot is kind of a copy of the Richard Mille in some ways. You could say that the Spirit of Bang is like that. Well, let me just give you some reference here. The Richard Milles are going to be 200,000 or more. I think the starting price is going to be 200, 250, something like that. And these Hublots are going to be around 20,000 or less. So you're looking at a 1/10 of the price here. So it might copy it in the sense that they're both tonneau shaped, but to copy a tonneau shaped doesn't mean that you've copied it, because tonneau shaped has actually been around for like more than 100 plus years. Actually, Richard Mille liked the tonneau shaped, and he brought it back. So he also copied it at some point as well. And there are only so many shapes you could have: round, square, rectangular. I mean, so it's not that many to choose from. So I'm not so sure I would agree that it's a copy. Yes, it uses the same shape. That's correct. But they add their own, they make it their own way. It's kind of like, how many ways can you make a sneaker? How many ways can you put the laces? Well, the laces all have to go on top. The sneaker, has a sole. It has a top that's leather. Has a toe part. I mean, there's only so many ways you can make a shoe. Is it saying that each shoe is copying? Not really. So, anyways, my point being that the Spirit of Bang, which is one of their top sellers, is it's unique and onto their own. And I would not say that it is a copy of any other brand. Okay, now let's talk about, now that we talked a little bit about the history, let's talk about where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Spirit of Bangs. Now, as I told you, the Spirit of Bang is part of their shape, SHAPED category. They make many different categories. Like their most famous would be the Classic Fusion, as well as the Big Bang. That one has done tremendously well for them. And but they also came out with this Spirit of Bang, which is kind of like an evolution of the Spirit of the Big Bang. And it's even called Spirit of Big Bang. So it is like the Big Bang, but it's just tonneau shaped, which also is very cool. And since then they've really, the Spirit of Bang's only been out, I don't want to say like 5 years or something like that. Not very many years. And then when they came out, they just had a few models, and they just kept expanding the line because, as you can see, it's a very beautiful watch. It's very unique. You don't see a lot of watches like this, and it's quite cool. And definitely for the price point, you're still getting a luxury watch, without this crazy Richard Mille $200,000 dollar price tag. And if you ask me, it actually looks really cool. So, anyways, the Spirit of Bang comes in many different flavors now. The one that you're looking at here is in titanium. They make it in gold. They make it in ceramic and sapphire, all sorts of colors. I think at the moment there's like 70 different Spirit of Bangs. Okay, anyways, that's sort of about where this watch stands in the lineup. Okay, titanium being the cheaper of any of the line, because titanium is the cheapest material. Doesn't mean it's a cheap material, it's cheapest material. And some of the benefits of being in titanium are that it's very robust, it's very light, and don't think that it's cheap, because titanium, it's actually very difficult to work with, so difficult that many brands don't even do it. For example, Patek Philippe doesn't even use titanium, and Rolex only recently started, as of 2023, started using titanium. So you can imagine how difficult it is to work with. And especially if you look at the casing of this, it's so intricate. You see all these ridges, edges, all this stuff, as opposed to Rolex, which has a very basic case. So it's not like this is a easy watch to make. It's still a very difficult, beautiful watch, and making it in titanium, although it is the cheapest of the materials, it's not cheap. Okay, so I just want to press upon that. Okay, anyways, that's the Spirit of Bang, where it stands in the lineup of other ones. Now, you can get this watch in many different variations in titanium, with a blue bezel, with a ceramic bezel, with a titanium bezel, different color, etc., etc. You can see that by going to our website, jazztime.com, or you can go to Hublot website, figure out which one you want, and then go to our website, jazztime.com, to buy it at a discount. Okay, anyways, that's where it stands in the lineup. Now let's talk about the case here. The case is 42 millimeters going. It should be left to right. I think 9 to 3. If you go up and down from 12 to 6, I believe that's even longer. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Actually, sorry. I think it's from 12 to 6 that is 42 millimeters, and going left to right, 9 to 3 is going to be a little bit less. So I don't believe it's a diagonal either. I'll check that in a little bit, but I'm going to say that that's the case. And after the video, I'll check it out with the calipers. If it's incorrect, I'll put it in the, I'll adjust the video. But anyways, 42 millimeters, which is a good size. It's not too massive, and for between 40 and 44 is a good size, and 42 is right in the middle of that. Okay, now the case is a satin finished and polished titanium, so that there's a beautiful titanium and lightweight, but it also uses a very beautiful finish to it. Okay, and if you look at the side profile, there's a lot of sort of ridges, edges to it that really make this watch stand out, and it's more than meets the eye, if you ask me. So I have to say it's quite nice. Okay, anyways, that's the case, and I like how you see how it has these black ceramic edges to it. It just adds a little bit more sportiness to it when you look at the side profile, as well as the crown. Very well thought out, if you ask me. And the pushers too. You see how the pushers are very harmoniously streamlined in the side of the case. They don't protrude and stick out and make it look like kind of like it doesn't belong. The pushers are very seamless. You almost can't see them unless you look carefully. Right, so very nicely done by Hublot, I have to say. If this were a Richard Mille, it'd be like $400,000. If it literally just said the different name, then it would be $400,000. And I don't think they do their skeletonizing any worse. They actually do a great job. Okay, anyways, that is the bezel. The bezel is a microblasted titanium with 6 H-shaped titanium screws. So these little screws here, they're actually shaped like an H, kind of like to signify the name Hublot, which is a nice touch. Yeah, a little bit similar to Richard Mille, a little bit similar to Audemars Piguet, but similar is not the same. So if you like this one, then yeah. Okay, anyways, that is the bezel, and now let's talk about the movement. The movement here is very nice. It's a HUB 4700 self-winding skeleton chronograph movement, and has a power reserve of 50 hours. The power reserve is about average, a lot of watches are between 50 and 70 hours, so nothing that strange about that part. Okay, and this what is pretty nice though is the skeletonization of the movement, meaning instead of just having a dial, they've skeletonized it. They've made it so that you can see it, you can move it at any time, and or sorry, you can look through the movement, and not only can you see it through the front, which also has this blue blue hue to many parts of it, which looks awesome if you ask me. But also when you look at the back, you can also see it. And not only do they pay attention to the detail. Check this out on the case back. The case back actually is all satin finish. On the edges, the beveled edge actually is high polished, just like a Richard Mille. So it uses the same idea as a Richard Mille. And if you look at the front of it, I might mention that as well. It's crazy. They do a satin finish on the top, and on the beveled edge, they also do this high polished bevel edge, which is like only really high-end watches do that. They don't have to do that. And they even do it on where the bracelet connects to the strap. I mean, they have all the markings of a really high-end. They are a high-end. I mean, 20,000 is not cheap, you know. So it's a very high-end watch, but it doesn't have this exorbitant price tag of like Richard Mille, 200,000-300,000. Okay. And but anyways, the movement is very nice. It's you can see through it on the back. Has this very nice cutout rotor, and and you might look at the finish and go, well, it doesn't look like a Longanzuna or Patek Philippe. Well, that's not really their style. Hublot is a cutting edge, not a traditional watch. So those other watches that I referred to, they're for traditional watches. They have that traditional finish. Hublot is not that. They are doing cutting edge stuff. Similar to Audemars Piguet and Richard Mille, they do a different type of finish. So I think the finish fits the style of watch that this is. You would not expect to see a very traditional finishing on this with Coteau de Genève finishes and such. They do it to their style, and I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's move on to this bracelet here. Okay, now the bracelet is a rubber bracelet basically, and it has this blue with a black lining, or edges that correspond to the edges of the profile of the watch. It's very nicely thought out. You have the pushers that are all in black, so when you look at it on the side, it's all black. It's a very nice touch. It looks harmonious. And then it has a standard buckle, and I like this kind of buckle because you actually have to press both sides for it to open. And it allows also for the watch to sit flat on your wrist when you have this kind of buckle. I think Hublot took the cues and ideas from other watches and improved upon them. For example, Audemars Piguet was making retarded bracelets for years and years that would sit totally funny on your wrist. The metal part would be sitting like on the side of your wrist. It just look awful. And of course they recognized that, but after freaking 10 years, and they changed that. Now AP's buckles are totally flat. And Hublot, being a new company, they took one look at that and said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to make our buckles correct. And they did. And here you go. This is a nice buckle. I like it. Okay. All right, that's it. So that gets us to pretty much the end here. Let me try this watch on now and give you my thoughts. My thoughts are, the Hublot. I like the brand. It's a great brand, and I like the spirit of Bang because it is a different looking watch. And as I was alluding to throughout the video, is that they're really doing high-end watchmaking. Skeletonizing, making these. Really cool movement. I was going to say beautiful, but I think cool would be the better way to describe it. Really cool cases, that that have a lot of, intricacies to them that you might not notice unless you watch this video. And then they have a nice, integrated bracelet, integrated in the sense that the colors and stuff, match. And then, and then add on top of that, put it at a price point. Now I know $20,000 ain't cheap, but you have to look at things with the perspective here. Compare that to its competitors. What do you get for $20,000 at Audemars Piguet? Nothing. You get a ladies' watch. And even maybe not even that. So, and you can get it at a discount too. The retail is $24,000. We actually sell it at jazztime.com right now for $18,000 and change. So you get like a 20% off discount. And if you don't live in California, you get it with no tax. So it's really a bargain. And you don't have no crazy weight, right? So if you just want a good looking watch like this, this would be it. And the size is good. The movement is really not much you can say. And if you like blue, which is the best color for a man, then there you have it. And so for all those reasons, I'm definitely going to give it 2 thumbs up. And if you want to buy this watch, go to jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.